on there.
Yes.
Shirley.
Nancy Peterson Hunt, who invites conversations, sees life in complexity, and creates community.
How did the dog get out?
Hello. Happy birthday, Nancy.
That's Olivia. Get it, try it.
Okay, start singing.
This filter that's in your hand. She's like, oh, she's like, I'll keep this for later. This is why I brought it.
Oh no.
Oh, poor Cal.
Are you doing one for each decade?
Yeah,
one for each decade. Okay, here we go.
Oh!
Oh, okay.
I'm totally blew me up.
That air is really. You know what? Pretend.
Pretend. We're gonna have to
Okay, here we
pretend.
go. Blow.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Did you just burn Mom's face? Happy birthday, dear Nancy. Happy birthday to you. Speech! No, I'm sitting. Oh, that camera's on. I realize it. In Sonoma County lately, every place I go, I look around to see a familiar face, and if I happen to see one, I get all excited because I think, oh my God, a familiar face. How many of you have ever been in one place where every face you look at is somebody that you know? Oh, I love you, Nancy. Yay. All right, we will cut the cake and distribute. Yes, we'll come to you. Yeah, you don't have to do anything, right?
Happy birthday.
Sorry, my hair might have gotten shut. You better before down. Don't feel need some runners.
Only redhead.
She's running around. She has a little pink little cross.
Are you guys gonna be runners once we get we're gonna go I found my place in the family. I'm the runner. Cute. Need some for everybody else.
She looks like a good girl.
Can you be first? I think we might be able to. I think that would be fun.
Might be able to be VIP right now.
So we're going to bring the cake to you.
Here, now some of these people are coming in. Some people have to leave. Let's just let them get cake right now.
Okay. Yeah, whatever works. It's amazing.
I know. Get Elliot hers first. Elliot!
You don't want to be VIP no more. There she is.
Elliot! Oh, it has a strawberry in the middle. How pretty.
Wait till they're apart. Oh my God, I've already had dig in. Because this is like
Yeah. Do we need more cake?
Yes, we may.
Yes, we may. She was all apologetic about lawyers and lawyers. But we knew them toward you. Yeah, so she wasn't too Christina,
Anybody else need cake?
I only wish one thing. I wish she was my teacher when I was young. Nancy always listened to my stories. It's a small thing, but it helped build my confidence as a teacher. I love her stories and wisdom about teaching. I marvel at Nancy's ability as a storyteller. I would love to learn how to be so expressive and commanding over an audience. By her example, I have learned how much you can show someone you care by asking questions and then really listening to the answers. One of the most important lessons Nancy taught me was the meaning of family and never giving up. Always be good.
So, me and my sisters.
My sisters and I.
Okay. Okay. We will never, ever, ever, ever
Oh, there she is.
can say how grateful we are of what she's done for us. Ever. So,
Love you, Mommy.
We
To
love you. This is all for you because you have given so much your whole life and believed in so many people your whole life. And thank you for believing in us.
exactly. Look what you've raised. I mean,
And Dennis, too.
yeah, and Dennis too, and
There's always one exception.
So, if there's anything that we could ever say is thank you. Thank you for taking the time to, watch out for us and to raise us to be good people.
One of the things I learned from her and her family was the excitement and the interest of being with people who are just decent, sane people.
I was petrified looking down at the mad bull, but Nancy was and often did jump into that pen and dash across to the other side and scramble up to the top and perch there watching that bull get madder. And then she would do it again. We are lucky to be celebrating her 80th birthday.
My name is Marilyn Sisler, and Nancy and I have been friends since the early 60s. Nancy rented a bedroom in her house to a procession of Sonoma State College students to help with finances while she was working toward a teaching credential. Another shared pleasure was our women's group, begun while we were students in the early 70s. Sandra Walton, a friend here today, told a few of us one day at lunch in the Commons that she had read some interesting theses recently written by women students, and it might be enjoyable to meet for a potluck dinner and read a few. Liz Avakian's and Kathy Valdez's are two that I remember. That was in 1972, and we, usually 8 of us, met first semi-monthly, then monthly until about 2014, when a beloved member, Mary Halleck, died, and there were only 4 of us left. I think we lasted so long because we enjoyed each other's company, just eating and drinking wine and talking. Live on, Nancy. I'm already 86. Join me and we'll get to our 90s too, still having a great life with family and friends, and all of us, as all of us are here today. Love you all.
How about one of the most unforgettable women I've met? This woman who can seem most reclusive, has a wicked sense of humor, is a fine listener, generous, strong, a lovely person.
Through there, this woman has truly made me into a better man.
Nancy's courageous example reminded me to shape up and buck up. Nancy gave me the gift of loving to garden. She bought Kendra her first very own garden tools in 1986 when she was 3. We have been pulling weeds and growing veggies ever since. Nancy has taught me to plant vegetables early in the year and pray. One of the many things Nancy taught me how to work on gourds. She would push me to be more creative. It says, catching scorpions in Sedona, Arizona can be fun if done with caution and extreme care. Victor Shin, driving illegally at age 14 and piano lessons. I learned to appreciate folk music because I met the Irish Rovers at Nancy's house. Sign, only hang out with people you like. I think they left. Number 2 is blowing smoke rings. Number 3, riding the horse Blaze with Nancy up and down the orchard. And now it's a vineyard. And this is from her brother Owen. After World War II, chewing gum was hard to get. Nancy would get it first and I would be second. It was years before I discovered that new chewing gum had flavor. Oh, this is from Jill. Nancy once put out strawberries, sour cream, and brown sugar. I looked at it, scrunched my nose, and said, "What do I do with that?" Dip the strawberry in the sour cream and then roll it in the sugar. "Oh, just try it," she said. And I did, and I loved it. Now it's my kid's favorite dessert. Thanks, Auntie Nancy. However, the sleepover was cover for our daredevil behavior of climbing out her bedroom window in spring and summer and running down to the Gravity Highway and hitchhiking, usually to Rio Nido, the Russian River, where we would see people and go to the dance. We had some good guardian angels protecting us at that time. Nancy was always up for the adventure. She was a fun-loving friend, someone who knew and grew in her understanding of what it means to be a friend. Her life has been one of grace, beauty, and dignity with a big splash of wildness, courage, and generosity. And I agree with that. She has become what some Native Americans call the true human being. Thank you for asking for the memories. Thank you for creating this special celebration. Blessings, Carol.
Over. One of the things we all love, I'm sure, is how Nancy tells stories. So this is one of how I know her. Sitting in the local cafe, there's a group of people huddled in deep focus. The group hangs on the words of one person. Although everyone sits in a circle, this woman is clearly the center. Faces are turned towards her. They don't look directly at her, as though to lift their gaze from the table would interfere with what they are hearing. I sit and gaze at this group from afar. Clearly, they hold court. Clearly, they are there to learn from this woman. I appreciate the community visible in the heart of a room where people flit in and out as they go about their days.
This is from Sharon. I will always cherish Nancy's encouragement for me to become a realtor. I hit the ground running and never looked back. Thank you, Nancy. This is from Mel, right up the hill. He's got gophers too. When trapping gophers, I think like a gopher, and if that doesn't work, I have a drink. She taught him part of that. And this is from Angela. Dearest Nancy, you have taught me that light can be cultivated in the darkest corners, and the light always wins. But today the wind won. And this is from Mary. Walk through life with grace, onward and upward. This is from George Eliot. Nancy, yoga and blue-green algae will cure your aches and pains, not to mention keep you young. This is from Jenny. When buying shoes, it's important to be able to run, just in case. And this is from Bruna and Pete. Happy birthday to a great lady. Wish we would have met you 25 years ago. We would have had a great time together. P.S. My husband enjoys having coffee with you. No, I was going to talk about that. And this is from Rosie. Dearest Nancy, remember I told you to take the leap of faith and buy that School Street house, your oasis all these years. And this is from Anthony. Nancy taught me that if I can fight the gophers, I'd better plan on a bigger garden and be prepared to share. Oh. Elise, gourds are works of art, waiting for Nancy to reveal their true color. And this is from Christina. Take only memories, leave only footprints. From Christina. This is unsigned, but this person knows Nancy. Onward and upward. Never be around those who cause negative energy. Whoever stays active stays healthy. Accept work, avoid stress. From Margaret and Michelle. One hot summer night, when Michelle and I and Nancy were all going to summer school, we were sitting around Nancy's kitchen table and having a good girl chat. We were wearing our slips. Remember those? Suddenly, Nancy leaps out. This is a good story. Of her chair, grabs the fire poker, and gallops out of the door, chasing some poor misguided peeping Tom who must have been terrified down the street. We watched him and ran back in, called the police, and within minutes they showed up and caught the culprit, whom she identified, and they removed. True story. We still have the fire poker.
The saying for Nancy, for me, was where there's a will, there's a way. Well, she was trying to get things packed and couldn't because she didn't have enough boxes. So we went to the first store and I walked in and this man says, "Could I help you?" I says, "I got them." So I said, "Yes, do you have any boxes? Because my family is moving to the mainland." "Oh, sure, come with me." So I picked up these huge boxes and we collapsed them and I took them out and I started putting them into Nancy's car and she's in the front seat going, "Grrr." And so I says, "Let's go to the next one." So we went to a next one and I had to wait a little while and I asked the same thing. And they said, "Sure, come on back." And so I kept bringing more boxes out, more boxes out. So she says, "So glad that you look Hawaiian because we're getting through this." I said, "Sure we are."
Hey, I can put it on because I used to teach. And so did Nancy. And we taught side by side and we taught each other as well as the students. But no one here has mentioned her gift of music. She played the piano and we would name a song. Anybody name a tune? Nobody name a tune? Name that tune. Remember the movie or the TV program? So I'd say, "Blue skies." Come on, Nancy. Yeah. "Do I see?" And we would carry on with that. And then she'd come up to my place in Shingletown making gourds for the group summer camp. And we had a little piano, a portable piano, and so she'd start out and it was then we'd have to name the tune and we'd have to sing it. And we did, and we've had so much fun. And she came up this year with Pat, and we still have fun. She gave me her first gourd when I retired, and I said, "Nancy, why aren't you doing this?" And she's doing it. I love her. Thanks, Nancy.
We've been coffee buddies for a long time, right? And every morning when you come in at the door, you had your purse under your arm like this. No, this is funny. It's very funny. And what you did right away, on the designated table, you put your purse there, right there, and you went for a coffee. And when you came back, I said, "Nancy, I just read an article about bacteria." And you said, there's so many bacteria in the bottom of a purse because women take them everywhere. And then you put them on the table and then eat afterwards. You kind of looked at me funny. He went like this, and he put that purse on the table, and I haven't seen you put it on there ever since. And in the meantime, I think you have changed purses too. And we are still friends. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Nancy. I love you.
Over the years, we have been as close as a brother and sister could be. I love her dearly. Nancy, happy birthday.
Okay, everybody look up.